Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day, thanks in a large part to our pals at the VFS School of Game Design. Thank you so much, Vancouver Film School. Now, this rundown is dedicated to the Mad Titan who used to watch us on TV and is glad that he found us on YouTube. Peace. This rundown is all yours, Mad Titan. It looks like the Justice League movie might be running into the same kind of problems that have plagued the other DC movies. The film is currently undergoing massive reshoots in London and Los Angeles with less than 4 months to go before its release. Although reshoots are normal on big movies, Variety reports that these reshoots are taking up much more time than usual. Most reshoots last a few weeks and cost about $10 million, but the Justice League reshoots have been going on for 2 months and are costing about $25 million. This makes us a bit nervous about the film. It's already gone through several big changes, with the studio rewriting the script and shuffling the producing team after the poor critical reception of Batman vs. Superman, and the reshoots mean that they're still not satisfied with what they've got. Last year's Suicide Squad underwent similar reshoots, and we all know how that turned out.
Really bad.
On the bright side, the Justice League reshoots might end up making the film better. They're being supervised by Avengers director Joss Whedon, who took over for Zack Snyder after he had to bow out due to a family tragedy. Variety claims that most of the new stuff Whedon is shooting is character-related, punching up the character drama and dialogue throughout the film, and given his previous work, he certainly knows how to do that. Variety also reports that part of the reason why the reshoots are taking so long is because of scheduling conflicts with all the actors, so we've got our fingers crossed that the final film will work out. DC did just deliver the smash hit Wonder Woman, so hopefully they can maintain their momentum going into Justice League. The film hits theaters this November.
Shall we?
And while DC fans are anxiously awaiting and anxious about Justice League, Marvel fans are being teased by their big superhero ensemble. It looks like Disney and Marvel won't be giving the trailer for Avengers Infinity War an online release anytime soon. The trailer was shown to audiences at the recent D23 Expo and at Comic-Con over the weekend, and despite the fact that many bootlegs have popped up online, the studio hasn't posted it on any of their official channels. The film's co-director Joe Russo has stated that they don't want to give the trailer a wide release because they still need to polish some of the effects and other visual elements, which are fine if you're showing it once to a live audience, but not if it's going to be scrutinized frame by people online. Russo adds that he and Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige created the trailer specifically with D23 and Comic-Con audiences in mind, so it's meant to be something special for their eyes only.
You know, Kevin and I talked about surprising both audiences. We did a little bit of a misdirect at D23 where we just acted like we had brought a look back at the Marvel Universe with us, and then it turned into Infinity War footage, and I felt like, you know, that added to the level of excitement for the audience. Same thing here. Kevin closed out the show, and then, you know, we sent the cast back out there to get the fans excited about potentially seeing the footage, and then we showed it to them. So I feel like that's part of the showmanship is the engagement with the fans, and then just seeing the smile on their faces after.
Just think of all the smiles you'd get if you released the trailer online. As it stands, the trailer will probably be released sometime this fall, although there's a chance that Marvel might change their mind. Back in 2015, they gave the Avengers Age of Ultron trailer an early release after a bootleg version popped up online, so we'll let you know if they do the same with Infinity War. All of this raises questions about event-exclusive trailers in general. As online distribution becomes more prevalent, and given how small personal video cameras are becoming, does it make sense for studios to show trailers to some audiences and not release the same footage online at the same time? Since most people will never be able to go to an event like Comic-Con, Marvel is excluding the vast majority of their fan base. On the other hand, it's understandable that they want to give attendees something special. What do you think? Give us your thoughts in the comments below. We know when we'll be seeing James Bond again, but we're still not entirely sure who that James Bond will be. Eon Productions, the studio that owns the film rights to the 007 franchise, has announced that the next film in the series will hit theaters on November 8th, 2019, just over 4 years after the last film, Spectre, was released. Here's the interesting bit. Several news outlets are reporting that Daniel Craig will return, but buried in the actual press release from Eon Productions, the studio says that details regarding the film's cast will be announced at a later date. If they're not ready to announce the cast just yet, it indicates that they still haven't inked a deal with Craig. Craig is rumored to be close to signing a deal with the studio, but there's always a chance the talks could break down at the last minute, so anything is possible. The good news is that if the studio is confident enough to set a release date, it indicates that they're pretty certain a deal will be reached soon. We'll let you know when that happens. We're also waiting to find out who will direct the movie. Spectre and Skyfall director Sam Mendes has already confirmed that he won't be back, so it could be anyone. Christopher Nolan has long talked about his desire to make a Bond movie, and now that he's finished Dunkirk, he could be a possibility. Netflix wants in on some of that lucrative Simpsons action. The streaming giant is working with the Simpsons creator Matt Groening on a new animated series called Disenchantment. The show sounds like it will be a far cry from the town of Springfield. It will take place in a crumbling medieval kingdom and focus on the misadventures of a hard-drinking young princess. Groening says that it will also have a strong emphasis on love and sex, which sounds like it will be a lot more raunchy than the network television-friendly Simpsons. When The Simpsons first launched in the late 1980s, it was considered very controversial, but now seems tame when compared to other more adult-oriented animated shows. Releasing his new series on Netflix should give Groening and the rest of his team a lot more freedom, and anyone who's seen the other Netflix animated show BoJack Horseman can tell you that they're not afraid of sex, drug use, and other not-so-family-friendly subject matter. Disenchantment will premiere next year. Whether or not it will be as successful as The Simpsons is another matter. Groening has worked on several other animated shows over the years, but none of them have had the same resonance as The Simpsons, which is currently in its 28th season, making it the longest-running scripted primetime show in history. Online activists have helped Microsoft paint themselves out of a corner. Following an outpouring of support on social media, Microsoft has decided not to kill off their beloved program, Microsoft Paint. The tech giant had planned to discontinue the simplistic graphics program in the next update for Windows 10, replacing it with another program called Paint 3D. But MS Paint fans across the globe fought back, demanding that Microsoft keep it alive. It worked. Microsoft has announced that the program will still be around, and they're moving it to the online Windows Store, where it will be available to all Windows users as a free download. This does mean that MS Paint won't be automatically included in Windows anymore, but it will still be available for those who want it. It's no surprise that people were shocked when they learned that Microsoft wanted to kill the program. MS Paint is a staple of the Windows platform. It was included in the very first version of Windows back in 1985 and has been included in every version since. The new Paint 3D will incorporate many of the same features. And something that is even more popular than Microsoft Paint is zombies. Loads and loads of zombies. The 2015 zombie game Dying Light won't be heading to the grave anytime soon. Developer Techland has announced that they'll be releasing 10 new batches of DLC for the game over the next year, adding new enemies, weapons, and online events. They say they're doing this because the game still has an active online community with an average of 500,000 people signing on to play every week. That's pretty impressive for a game that's more than 2.5 years old. Techland hasn't said when the first new batch of DLC will arrive, but expect it soon. It makes sense that the studio is helping to keep the game alive as long as they can. They're rumored to be working on a sequel, Dying Light 2, so the longer they keep their fan base interested, the more success the new game will have when it launches. We'll let you know when more details come in. Players will be able to find the new Japanese RPG Lost Sphere next year. Square Enix has announced that the new game will launch worldwide on January 23, 2018, available simultaneously on the PS4, PC, and Nintendo Switch. Lost Sphere is developed by a Square Enix subsidiary called Tokyo RPG Factory, the same studio that made last year's stylish RPG, I Am Setsuna. The new game focuses on a young boy and his friends who set out on a quest to save their village, and like I Am Setsuna, will have an active time battle system similar to the original Final Fantasy games. We can't wait to try this one out. That's it for the rundown. To learn more about game design, visit our pals at VFS.edu. We'll be back again tomorrow with a brand new episode for you. In the meantime, watch some of our other content, and if you dig it, hit subscribe, all right?